All right, here's hoping you can hear the audio this time versus the last time when I tried to make this video, but here's just an overview of doing the classic Gimkit. I haven't played around with the other games yet. That'll be something that when you kind of understand how to set up at least the classic one, you can then set it up with the other versions. We can kind of explore that in this video, but because all those versions are new, I haven't really dived into any of them. So, but I always start with the classic just because it's a little bit easier for students to do. So you go into Gimkit Live, as you know. Then we're going to go to Unit 1, Influential People, play live. And then we go to the classic version here. And then basically you can set it in as, I just will typically have a time limit of like 10 minutes. You could do 5 minutes if you wanted to. Anything, there's a race. The first one to reach that cash goal, they all have to like work together to get that. Or one person has to, says the first one. This one's where everybody like goes in together to try to get this cash goal. I just like the time one just because it's a little bit easier. Starting cash, you can adjust it if you wanted them to have like a certain amount to start off with. The handicap is typically it won't go below a certain amount. I typically do this at 0 just so nobody's got negative answers. In that case, I do answer check, music, clapping, join lanes, totally fine. Power-ups, those are those things that they can purchase, and themes. I do the clean power-ups only. I don't really want them kind of attacking each other in a way, and so I always turn that on just because otherwise they can do power-ups that would hurt other players, which is not fun. So now that we've got that set up for the classic version, we can hit continue, and I'll just log into my phone as a player just so you can kind of see how it works. All right, so I'm joining in. So this is where you would do application share here at this point after you set this up. So you would open up application share, share your screen, and then this is where students would then have the option or click on the link or basically, you know, copy that link because they can't really click on it. You can put it into chat and then they will just type in the game code, log in through the website, type in the game code, type in their name. I always tell them to try to use their real names, but they can even do like, if I wanted to, I could put like Jenny Clemens or, you know, Jenny Baby Clemens or something like that. Like if I wanted to do a nickname, just as long as their name is somewhere in there, you can see it. And if you need to, if somebody's doing like poop, you know, something just really dumb and they're not following directions, you can actually click on them and remove them from the game. So then if I wanted to join back, I'll put them back in. There we go. I'm back in. So then once you have like a certain amount of time limit, I typically do about like maybe 2 minutes is what I wait for students to log in. They do have the option to like draw and stuff if they wanted to as they're waiting. So that way they don't have like too much, you know, they're not like, okay, like let's go sort of deal. So I put like 2 minutes on the timer. And then after the 2 minutes are up, then I start the game. You can remind them that they can easily, if you have that setting that late joiners can join, they have that option to do that. And then you do start game. So here the game's already started. It's like super loud right now. So I'm just gonna kind of go through. So there's like a point, and then you have the timer. I'm not gonna have it for a full. Not gonna have it for a full 10 minutes. So you can then just go end game. You can turn off the sound if you wanted to. I typically will have the music on in the background. I'm going to turn it off just as I'm talking, but I can usually have it in the background and just have my microphone close to it. So that way they can hear the music. I'm not sure. This is where if you wanted to do like a Zoom call or a YouTube live stream, you can do that, but we don't really need to do those. But you can turn on the music, turn off the music. Like I said, I typically keep it on for this just so students can hear the sounds, and I typically take my headset microphone and put it towards my speakers. And then if you wanted to end the game, if something's going crazy, or for this purpose, we're just ending it just because of time's sake, end it. And this, again, you're showing this all. All right, so you're showing this all through basically application share the whole entire time. So then that way they can see that. And then of course they can do their clapping things, which is so much fun. So that's how you set that up at least. Now, if we were to do another play, now this is where you would turn off application share. You can then show it here if you wanted to. So turn on application share if you wanted to, just to show them. I would avoid the team mode just because it does require students to be in like the same area. So that would be a little bit more difficult, but there's all these different ones. So we can look at the settings here together. So you can change the, like how it says Gimpossible. But there's different difficulties for this one with the floor is lava. Again, starting cash, I would start at 0. And same with handicap, do it at 0, just so students aren't like dropping down in the negatives and then get frustrated with that. So always turn on the music. It's always fun. Then the answer check's great because it'll give you, they can view the incorrect or the correct answer after that. So that sets that up. So let's look at the other versions just to see what their setup's like. So humans versus zombies, again, starting cash 0, handicap 0. It typically stays that way once you've already set it that, which is super nice. Turn on the music. Clapping's that thing at the very end where the students can be like, yeah, like, and clap. I love doing that, and I think they have a blast with it. And then I would just typically, for this one, if they want to play the humans versus zombies, or if you want to do this, because I would say for you may just want to pick it just for the students, just because if you try to pull something, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But that kind of shows that setup. I probably will do the humans versus zombies. It looks like fun. Okay. Or infinity too. So for this one, from the infinity mode, I would just do the starting cash 0, handicap 0, answer check, joining late, good to go. So it's pretty much the setup for all of these, it looks like, where you would have that. Again, that handicap's really key to do it at 0 because students will get super frustrated if it drops below that, and you don't want to have that. That would just not be fun. So maybe this is something that you want to do like a all-in type of thing. Turn on the music. Music's really good for Gimkit. I really like the music here. And super rich. So again, 0, 0. And you can kind of play around with this too as you're doing it. It looks like for most of these, you can maybe just do it as one person. So even if you wanted to test it out and just set it up and then like basically play on your phone just to kind of see how the format is like, you know, sign in as like a student or whatever, you can do that too. So look like they're all the same setup. So pretty much that's the gist of Gimkit. And yeah, I think it'll be a blast for students. Like I said, I would probably start with the classic mode first, do about 10 minutes, and then maybe try a few other modes as you go, and you can kind of play around with those. And then whatever the students end up deciding is their favorite, we just, you know, we'll start with classic and then continue to play that mode as the semester goes on. So that's pretty much it.